So we're talking about Sensuke, yeah?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Okay, so this Sensuke, well, obviously this goes back way before my time, but again, you learn these things from the history books and speaking to people and all the rest of it. So it as a lineage was probably the one that was the biggest, other than Dainichi. Sensuke was the big lineage back in the day, and it was the first lineage, the original one that grew big Kohaku. That's where it started. That was the foundation of big growing Kohaku was Sensuke. Quite a softish, typical Benny type to it as well, quite distinctive. But it was mainly this body conformation and size. That's where it became famous and what it became famous for. So, and various different farms took the Sensuke lineage as they did, and sort of then say develop their version of it, but they take it pretty much like what happened with Sudazo in Sankey. Sudazo, the lineage of Sankey was incredible quality, but it was the Marusho koi farm that really took it and made it famous through their work with the bloodline. So yeah, Sensuke still, it's a massive part. There's a lot of breeders with it in their lineages, all the rest. Prominent ones, Matsue is a massive, probably the most, typical characteristics of Sensuke Kohaku sit in Matsue ones when you could. So it's the Tsuka Sensuke variation of the lineage, and yeah, you can see it there. Benny type body. He did have a thing where it is the lineage can have the slightly bigger eyes as well, slightly protruded eyes. That is a common characteristic of it as well. But yeah, Matsue, I believe Okawa has a decent lineage of it. Hoshikin's got a strain of it, although it's not the main one, because sort of back then you'd got Sensuke, Tomoin, Dainichi. That's a lot of the big ones, the powerhouses from back in them days. But yeah, Sensuke, very very prominent one, and still plays a part in a lot of bloodlines these days.
Who was it Sakai originally, Ricky? Did it start at Sakai?
No. It was the Sensuke. I'm not sure if it was a brand name or what it was, or a farm back in the day. Never looked into it that much. Just knowing about what a Sensuke Kohaku was.
Got you.
Because that's the important thing in these. It's not knowing the history of the farm or what it is. It's knowing what the characteristics of the fish are.
Gotcha.
And obviously today now you move to your modern lineages are your Sakai, your Momotaro, and things like that. Probably your oldest serving one today, old lineages that's still prominent today, is the Dainichi Kohaku, because the farm where it was created is still in operation.
Bloody hell. See, that's mad, because looking at bloodlines and the family trees that come from that. With regards to reference.
Yeah.
Is there anywhere that you can buy material or find material that gives you the access into any of that?
No, I'll tell you, one of the best books I read back in the day was the Koi 1 and Koi 2 books by Harold Bachman. I had quite a bit, but even then it's a few pages inside that links to the bloodlines, because the information about it is so little. But to be honest with you, it is a lot of the part of history now, because like I say, a lot of these lineages, I mean, Sudazo Sankey, again, just going back to it in its purest form, doesn't really. I know of one farm that was said to have pure Sudazo lineage. It's in a different region of Japan that I've never been to. But if you look at like the founder, let's say Marusho Koi Farm, where it really took Sudazo and made it famous. That was back in. So that's Marusho was part of NND. That was back in 2009 when they then crossed the Sakai Sankey into that lineage. Right. So because all these old ones, they have to be modernized. This is the thing. Matsunosuke is another big one. Matsunosuke kicking around still, and the creators are there still. But if you ask me, it's why we don't see these days Matsunosuke Koi winning grand champion or major honors at the major Japanese koi shows, because it's not been modernized. Right. Therefore, the body traits of Matsunosuke, which are not, the jumbo growing fish, they're not the Sakai body style, where you've got this amazing height and incredible volume. Therefore, that is the body type that is the new benchmark that's winning all the awards. And Matsunosuke's not like that. You've got koi of phenomenal quality and longevity, but it's almost become irrelevant in a lot of ways. Yet it's not. You know, if you look back in the history books, Matsunosuke, again, it's a massive part of Sankei. You know, Momotero's lineage was built off of Matsunosuke. But again, they've modernized it, and it was only built off of it. They've modernized it to get the size, get that genetics, but then they've built the body on top.
Which is
so
like,
yeah, as much
like
as
Beppu fish farm, like picks up a lot of Sakai sort of fish from the parents, and then create their own, like put that into the genetics to get the body shapes.
At some point, it becomes their own lineage. This is where you've got to be careful when you talk about, because you can get a lot of throwaway stuff, and this whole bloodline thing can get confusing and misleading. And certainly from sort of like a consumer perspective as well, you've got to be careful, because it'd be quite easy to, you know, you get somebody like Nagashima, for example, knocking up Showa from a Momotaro. These are Momotaro bloodline Showa. Honestly, it means so little, because it's one guide. It's basically like part of the framework for understanding what the fish's potential is, but it's only one part of the framework. Because if you've got Momotaro, yes, so we all know Momotaro Showa can grow to 1 meter and beyond. That's possible. If, however, there's a runt from that litter that only manages to grow to, say, 70 centimeters, and that fish is then the parent fish that, I'm not saying it is, but just an example, the parent fish that Nagashima goes and buys to use as a parent, then we know there's going to be an issue there in them offspring, because clearly that fish that he's got has genetic limitations. Even though the mother lineage has got this jumbo capability, it sort of skipped a generation in that fish. And then you've got the fact of you diluting that blood further by whatever males get mixed in with it as well, because they're going to be males from a different lineage. They have to be. You don't want to get the blood too close. So, yeah, honestly, it's a hell of a topic. But I think the reason those old lineages are more sort of like the histories and understanding the real building blocks of the modern day lineages. Yes, but I think they're so far gone now. We look at, you know, everything that's sort of being used. Sakai blood is so prominent in everything. You know, Momotaro blood is becoming even more prominent in everything. Dainichi, these are all the really, really big ones.